All right, we turn now to the Gaza war. Israeli forces have recovered the bodies of an Israeli-American couple who were killed in the October 7th, 2023 terrorist attacks. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the remains of Judith Weinstein Haggai and Gadi Haggai were recovered in a special operation. This comes as the families of several hostages met with officials at the White House Tuesday night, including one of our guests who was released by Hamas in February after more than 500 days in captivity. Hamas terrorists paraded Tal Shoham and 5 others on a stage as part of a hostage prisoner swap and a ceasefire deal with Israel that Hamas turned into a spectacle of terrorist theater. But that wasn't enough for Hamas. No act of savagery ever is. The terrorists forced 2 other hostages to watch their sick show from a nearby van. They recorded them and their emotional reaction and their plea that they too could be released before slamming the van door in their faces.
תוציאו אותנו הביתה, בבקשה, בבקשה. חברים שלנו יוצאים הביתה אחרי 500 יום שהיינו איתם. 500 יום אנחנו פה. מתחננים בבקשה, זה כל מה שאנחנו רוצים, זה כל מה שאנחנו רוצים. תצילו אותנו בבקשה.
That video was recorded in February. Evyatar and Guy, 2 best friends kidnapped at the Nova Music Festival, have now been in captivity for 607 days. Joining us now are their brothers, Gal, Gilboa, Dalal, and Eli David, and former hostage Tal Shoham, who was released that day in that video we were just watching. Tal, I'd like to start with you. Hamas released you from captivity in February. You were held hostage for so long. How have you been? How have you recovered in the months since you got out?
Well, it's a hard question because in one side, my whole family was kidnapped on October 7th. My wife and my children, including my mother-in-law, were freed in November 2023. And I got my life back. I reunited with my family, and we are very pleased and happy that it happened. But in the other hand, in captivity, I got new 2 brothers, Evyatar and Guy, not by blood, but by sheer fate. And right now, I'm doing everything in my power, and the whole family is gathered to help in that, to try to assist them to be released from captivity.
Yeah, you wrote an essay about your time being held hostage with Evyatar and Guy. You wrote that you were held for 8.5 months in a Hamas tunnel, just 40 feet long, less than 3 feet wide. We slept on soaked mattresses, shared a single pita a day, and took turns whispering stories from home to keep ourselves sane. We were strangers when we entered that darkness, but we became brothers. When you saw that video that was taken of Evyatar and Guy in the van, hoping they too would be released, only to be denied the chance, wow, that must have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. Knowing what they are going through right now in this moment, the hell that they are going through, is really heartbreaking. You know, it's really difficult to express the reality of being a hostage in a terror organization custody. And it's really undescribable what they are going through right now.
Gal and Eli, your brothers are the 2 men we're watching. We were just watching just now. And you had to watch that video. As painful as it was for you, it was, at least for you, confirmation they're still alive.
Yeah, you know, the first time we watched the video, me and Eli both were in CPAC, and Trump was speaking, and he was recognizing us that we're there. And our phone went off, and we saw the video for the first time. And it was the first time we saw our brothers for 500 days. And yeah, you first think about how they're alive, and they're speaking to us, and they're together. And it gave us some hope. But you know, when Tal returned, and he told us about what they're going through and what they have to endure in there, we understand that every hope or every imaginary that we had about how they're keeping them just shattered. Our brothers are being brutally abused physically and mentally every day on a daily basis. They're treating them worse than animals. They're treating them in a way that no one would ever treat to his enemies. Not you, not us, not every country in the world would ever treat their worst enemies. That's the way they're treating two young men, beautiful men, innocent civilians that did nothing wrong to anyone in their whole life. They were kidnapped from the Nova Festival. It's a music festival about peace and love. It's a spiritual festival. That's the people that they took.
Do you think, obviously they're strong, they have managed to somehow survive the brutal conditions in which they're being kept?
We believe that eventually they'll come back, and the fact that they are surviving right now, it's a miracle. It is a miracle because they are being held 100 feet underground inside a terror tunnel, which is 3 feet wide and 30 feet long. They are being preserved alive with very, very small amounts of food and water. They have to do their needs right next to where they sleep and eat. And they are being tortured by their captors emotionally and physically. And somehow they survive. And while they survive, we have no choice. We cannot give up. And we need to fight for their lives. And we have to save them as quickly as possible because they are decaying right now.
You did meet this week with Steve Witkoff, President Trump's special ambassador. Did you get any new information about what might be happening behind the scenes that gives you any hope that your brothers might soon be released?
We have a lot of hope, and we're optimistic when it comes to Witkoff and President Trump and this administration. We are really trusting them to do the right thing and to put the pressure on whoever they need to bring them back. But there's one thing that's the main reason why we are here. We are here to emphasize the urgency. Each day that they are still there, another piece of them is dying. My brother don't have a lot of time. We don't know how much time he can survive now. And you know, you said that they are surviving, but we don't know if he survive another day. We don't know what's going on with him right now. And that's why it's so important to bring them all out now, not tomorrow, not yesterday, now, because we don't know what will happen in the future.
How concerned are you about the fact that conditions seem to be deteriorating, that, by all accounts, things have gone really poorly in Gaza, that we have Prime Minister Netanyahu now threatening to overtake Gaza? It doesn't feel, the hostages, many hostage families have been very critical of Prime Minister Netanyahu for not doing more to secure their release. Do you share that frustration?
As far as we know, the Israeli government has aligned already with the Witkoff proposal. So President Trump, which is super determined and super committed to bring back all hostages, is aligned right now with the Israeli government. And the ones who are not agreeing to this agreement is Hamas. And we need to ask ourselves how it's going on yet, how it's possible that there are more than 50 hostages still being held by this cruel terror organization after almost 20 months.
Yeah, it is almost unimaginable. Tal, nobody ever recovers from what you have experienced. This is something you carry with you for the rest of your life. How are you doing that? How are you bearing that burden?
Well, I'm fortunate enough to have two little beautiful kids that keep me on my toes. And but the thing is that until every one of them will come back, until the 56 hostages will come back, I feel that I won't be able to start my real recovery, because I actually know what they are enduring right now in this moment. And it's hard, very hard, to just keep on with my life.
All right. Tal, Gal, Eli, thank you so much for being here. We are praying for the brothers' release and all the hostages' release, and to finally give some peace to these families. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.